Welcome to the Galley of SV Xanadu. It's Jamaican jerk chicken. I've got a real recipe from Jamaica, a real Jamaican, and we're going to try to do the same thing here in the Galley. So the original recipe is 2 cups of scallions, 1 cup of fresh thyme, 2 onions, 2 cloves of garlic, about a ½ cup of ginger, a whole handful of habanero or scotch peppers, cloves, allspice, all ground up. And then the wet sauce is vinegar, coconut oil, cinnamon, nutmeg, soy sauce, and we're going to put it all together here with the ingredients we have on the boat. So let me show you what I have here. I've got the thyme, I've got the smoked paprika, I've got the onion flakes and garlic powder, I've got the red pepper flakes, and I have a secret ingredient. This is the pumpkin spice. It has the allspice and the nutmeg and the clove and the cinnamon already all in there. Then I have ground ginger. And so we're going to put this recipe together, put these onions in there with some citrus, and I don't have any habanero peppers, but I do have Queen Anne's Revenge with ghost pepper. You remember Jamaican jerk is all about the spiciness. So we're going to use a little bit of this in there to give it the heat because we don't have the habaneros or scotch peppers. I think this is going to be a good alternative. Stick with us and see how it's done. I use the NutriBullet. I've kind of reduced the quantities on this recipe because it's just for us here in the Galley. So I'm using about 2 tablespoons of each. I don't have to use the big recipe that I got from my friend. So I'm going to put the thyme in, the smoked paprika, my onion flakes and garlic powder, crushed red pepper. Oh, this is going to be a good Jamaican jerk sauce. My pumpkin spice seasoning with everything in there. And my ginger. I wonder how much heat do I add to this to equal that habanero. I'm going to say let's start with about 3/4 of a tablespoon. This is really hot. So we've got the seasonings in there. So let's put the olive oil. I'm just going to do it how the ancestors told me. I don't measure it. They said it was enough. Soy sauce, but I use coconut aminos instead. It's lower sodium, better for you. The ancestors have spoken. And of course, the apple cider vinegar. We don't measure this. We just know that that's going to be some goodness. Oh, maybe a little more. Maybe a little more. All right, now we have to just add a little bit of lemon and lime. I get the fruit knife out to cut this. I have more control with my smaller Shanduko fruit knife. Get that lime in there. How about a lemon wedge? Get that in there. All right. Now, instead of the shallots and 2 onions, which I don't have any shallots on the boat today, but you may not have any in your kitchen either. But you might have an onion or 2. So what I have today is a purple onion. I'm just going to peel that. I'm just going to cut the tops off of that and peel it. Set it to the side, get the skin off. I like the antioxidants and the nutrients in the purple onion, so I'm just going to give that a chop coarsely, just so I can get it in the blender. It doesn't have to be all that much, but I think for this recipe, with the amount that I've reduced it down, this will be a good amount. Get that in there. So that takes the place of the scallions and the onions all in one. Let's get that in the blender. You have to kind of work with it a little bit. There it goes. Okay, hey, that's blended up nicely. Let's taste that. Let's give it a little taste test for this Jamaican jerk sauce. Marinade all in one. That's got some heat to it, and that's got the flavor. I like that. All right. Now all we have to do is get a bowl and our chicken. Today, what do we have on the boat? Oh, we got a couple legs with the skin on. We got a couple wings, full wings with the skin on right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this Jamaican jerk sauce and we're going to get it all in there. I'm probably going to use about 3/4 of what I made here and save some for later. Alright, I'm going to stir that up and mix it all over that chicken. Oh man, look at that. Look at this. Mix all that jerk sauce all over that chicken. That marinade is going to be the bomb right there. How do I get it all over the chicken? Using a spatula? No. Let's just get in there and mix it with our hands. Oh, that's much better. I'm feeling it already. This is what they do down in Jamaica. They just mix it up with their hands. All right. All right, I'm going to sit here and let that marinate for a bit. And then we're going to get it in the air fryer. And we're going to get this cooked up for you. Alright, while this chicken is marinating, it's time for a shot. Boqueron, Caribbean Gold rum. Right there. Let's get, oh, what is this? I'm taking the Caribbean rum, and I'm using the Flying Flamingos. Arg! I put the lime in the rum. Woo! Okay, let's check this out. Nice! That's good. That's Caribbean Gold rum. That goes down nice. What do you think, Ollie? What do you think about that Caribbean rum? Not much to say, huh? What about the Jamaican jerk sauce? Still no answer. Okay. How about that? Oh. Let's give that a mix. Don't tell anybody I put that in there. Pirates tell no tales. And the only two that know about this is me and Ollie the octopus. He'll be back for more. Real quick, I want to show you this old knife set that compares to the new knife set that I have. This has been my tried and true, trusty old outdoor angler's knife set. You may have seen this in a video. I use the glove for the catfish, and I've got the fillet knives right here. I keep these pretty sharp, but it's time to upgrade. So I have to say goodbye to the outdoor angler. And I have to show you this new set that I think is much better for the price. This is the Hoshino fillet knife set. Let me just break it down for you right here. I have got this set. It comes with a sharpener like this. Then I've also got the 7-inch fillet knife. And then I've got the 9-inch. Or maybe this is a 10-inch. Fillet knife. This is for the bigger fillets. Japanese steel, very sharp. And I'll give you a demonstration here. On the boat, we could just take this red onion right here and we could just go right through there. I mean, just like that. Boom. Hoshino, thanks for the upgrade. I've also upgraded my normal chef knife set right here. I've got 2 Shanduko knives, one smaller chef knife and one larger chef knife. These are extremely sharp Japanese steel as well. This is the blue steel, it's hardened. Then I've got the smaller fruit knife, and then I've got the massive cleaver. Oh, it just fell right through that. These are so sharp. They have zero resistance. But this will get into like this. This is a very big pepper. Just bam, done. So, just like that, super easy. Sometimes I'm using my knife. Chef knife has a good tabletop to it, and I can transfer my vegetables over to the pan. I'll take the smaller Shinduko knife, and let's say I just want a julienne. Some red onion. Cuts right through there with hardly any resistance. Next, the fruit knife is much smaller, easier to do. So if I had something that I was working on, and I just need a little more control, I could get in there and really fine tune it. Maybe I'm going to make a salsa recipe and I just want some good chunks in there and I need a little more control. I'll choose the smaller fruit knife. And that right there is a major upgrade. You should check these out. I put a link in the description. You're going to love these knives. The sharpener you can buy separately and it works on all these knives. Whether you choose Heijin or Hoshino, either one I use on the boat and I recommend it and you're going to love them. Alright, that marinade is marinating. Look at that. That's some goodness right there. Okay, I've got my jalapenos bacon wrapped, ready to go. Pair with this chicken. I've got my pan for the air fryer right here. I put a little oil down and got my parchment paper on there. Alright, look at this marinade. This has been marinating for about an hour. You could do this in the fridge overnight. It'd even be even better. But I think that's going to be good for today. And I've made the jalapenos bacon wrapped to go with this chicken. Now I've just got to get this chicken on the pan. Alright, let's get these legs out of here. And the wings. Now a lot of times on the wings I'll fold them to where the wings are tucked in. But on this I just want the fats to kind of come out all over the place. Now the jalapenos. Let's line those up around the sides. Those look like little pirate ships right there. Arrgh. Alright, we lined them up. I think I need to utilize the last of this sauce. Oh, let's put it on that bacon, on those jalapenos. Woo, look at that. That's going to be good. This is really good sauce. That's the Jamaican jerk right here on the boat. I'm looking forward to the flavor of this. You know, in the medieval times, there was actually laws against putting cinnamon and cloves in meat because it hid the fact that the meat was bad. Alright, let's get this all over, the rest of this all over it. So I'm bringing it back. I use these in my spices. I know that this Jamaican jerk is authentic. And that's what I want to taste. Authentic Jamaican jerk sauce. Let's get this in the air fryer. And first I want to bake it on about 275. And if you're doing this on the grill, maybe about 250 to 275 to start. We don't want the bacon to crisp up. We don't want the skin and the jerk sauce to burn. We just want to get everything cooked through and through, and then we'll ramp up the heat at the end. 275, 25 minutes. Let's get this party started. Woo! That's going to be good. Come here, prick. Hey, how you doing, buddy? This is Meat Prick. This is my Thai chili plant given to me by a friend. He will be featured in a recipe coming soon. How you doing out there, buddy? You looking good. A little windy out there on the boat? Well, makes you stronger. Alright, we're going to wait on this chicken to cook in this Jamaican jerk sauce with those jalapenos. Arrgh. Alright. Look at this jerk chicken. Woo! Woo, we got it out of the oven. Got it out of the oven right there. That's Jamaican jerk chicken right there. So I've taken the last bit of the jerk sauce and I've put it with some sour cream over here. And I'm gonna put a little, what is that? Beer salt. Got that on there. That's gonna be a winner. And just look at this. It's been cooling off for a minute. Just look at that jerk chicken. That's the Jamaican jerk chicken right there. We cooked this slowly from 275. We turned it. We basted it with the sauce. We cooked it again. And that was about an hour. And then we turned it over and basted it again. Turned it up to 350 and kind of finished it off for about 10 minutes. This is about an hour and a half on the recipe, if you think. Let's just get it on the plate and let's taste it. Let's get it out here. There's our chicken. Here's our jalapenos. I'll line them up over here. And I'll put a couple over here. Alright, let's get that out of there. Alright, front and center. How's this going to taste? I'll tell you what, this is exactly what Jamaican jerk chicken looks like. The reason I make the sour cream sauce is a kind of a little antidote to the spice. That sour cream helps to buffer it a little bit. Well, let's check it out. Let's check out that jalapeno first. Let's cut into that and get some of that sauce on there. That goes great. That's a great base for those jalapenos. Moment you've been waiting for. Let's see how this chicken works out. Let's taste that little morsel right there. Let's just taste that. Yeah. That's Jamaican jerk right there. That's different. That has got the spice. Just like it's supposed to. We put just the right amount. I'll have to say, that's some jerk sauce. You're going to love this. Try this recipe yourself. Don't be afraid of the spice. If you're not into spices, you can use maybe a jalapeno pepper instead of the ghost pepper like was in my spices. But the original recipe is for a scotch pepper or habanero. But maybe use a milder pepper. But for me, this is the bomb right here. You can follow me on Patreon. I'll put a link right here. You can follow me on Patreon. And I provide these recipes for you to make easily from your own home. Become a Galley member at our sister channel, Sailing into Nirvana, right here. I put all these recipes in my cookbook and my new ebook online on Patreon. You're going to love it. You can become a Galley member or you can just buy a post for the recipes that you like. But if you become a Galley member, you get them all. And you help me create this wonderful cookbook from our galley to your table. I'm Pirate Rodney. I'm signing out. And I say, stop eating like a prisoner and eat like a pirate!